There's a lot of really beneficial unlocks and things that I wish I had known sooner before playing Jedi Survivor, so I'm going to share 10 tips and tricks with you now, so hopefully you find them useful earlier on in the game. And of course, there's no main storyline spoilers here. Thanks to EA for the review code, and let's start with some solid settings that you should be aware of, because one of the first things you should check is if the navigation assist is turned on, and this will add a extra icon onto the map that is separate from the main objective and will tell you directly where you need to go in these labyrinth game levels that have multiple passageways. That said, if you'd prefer to run the game for maximum immersion, you can keep this turned off, as well as deactivating the HUD interface in the settings menu as well, meaning you'd have a screen free of the UI, but do keep an eye on BD1's lights, as they will change from green to red if you're low on health and running with that full immersion mode. Now, if you do end up struggling with the swiftness of the combat, you can turn on slow motion in the accessibility settings to slow the pace of the game down from 90% all the way to 30%, and by making this change you may find the game less frustrating. And the same thing goes for disabling that full damage button, meaning that when you invariably jump and miss a platform, you don't lose health on a respawn, which can add up quite quickly. And speaking of exploring, when in the Jedi meditation chambers, you may want to toggle on the force pull button, which means you need to press the force pull ability in game just once and not have to hold it down while you run around in the puzzle room, which I prefer doing. Now, upgrading your Stim canister capacity to hold more healing boosts is very important in this game as a defensive measure. There's 10 you can find in total, but you can pick up 3 very quickly early on in the game. The first being when you arrive on Coruscant, located at the very easily missed Undercity Meets location, as you can see here on your map. And once you arrive, you'll just need to fight a security droid, with the Stim chest being just behind him. Now, the next 2 Stim unlocks appear on Kobo, which you'll travel to after Coruscant. The first being in the Forest Array location, which you can see here on your map. You just need to kill the Mogu boss and follow this route I'm taking here to unlock it. And the third Stim canister booster is at Doma's shop, which you'll have access to after completing the opening quest, where if you purchase the mysterious key code for 10 priorite shards, you'll then open up her workshop door, which will reward you with another Stim capacity boost. Now, as for those priorite shards, you can loot them around the world, with 7 of them being on Coruscant initially, or you can farm them quickly off red scavenger droids that will run away from you when approaching them, so simply throw your lightsaber at them or run them down on your mount for a quick turnaround. And speaking of turning around quickly, there's a couple movement and traversal tips in this game that are really good to know. The first one being that you can force jump or slide dash while sprinting, which is a cool thing to do in combat. Simply sprint and double tap the dodge button to activate it. You can also jump and dodge in the air during combat to quickly disengage and get away from being overwhelmed. This is especially effective when unlocking the air dash ability a little later on in the storyline, and I found it to be actually quicker than using a mount when out exploring. But because of that, you won't have access to certain locations. So I would recommend opening up your map and placing a beacon on a door or other obstacle you can't yet get through, so you can then come back to it later when you do have that ability upgrade unlocked. It means you don't spend ages trying to find that dead end you couldn't get past 10 hours earlier. Now, when it comes to fast travel, do remember that you can return directly to the Mantis ship as a fast travel location on all planets. It took me way too long to realize that in this game, and it will speed up main story quest hand-ins a lot faster for you as well. Now, perks are a new mechanic that will become available to you on the planet of Kobo, and after finishing the correct quest, Z the robot will allow you to purchase certain perks that you can equip to complement your gameplay. Now, there's 25 perks to unlock in this game, but the first one you most certainly need to acquire is the Wisdom perk sold by Z for 5 data discs. It's an excellent item, and it will increase your XP gain, which you will benefit from for using it long term, almost like compounding XP interest. Now, data discs are similar to the priorite shards that are found around the world and during missions, so don't spend them on anything else is my recommendation, and then spend the first 5 that you get on this perk specifically. And while we're on the topic of earning XP, a very fast way to level up for more skill points to spend early on in the game is at the Fort Carlin meditation point on your map. And if you follow the route I'm taking here, which I will speed up for you, you'll reach 2 raiders with hammers, and you'll want to force pull them off the ledge. And if you then switch the difficulty to story mode, which you should probably do beforehand actually, you can then nuke them very quickly for a large amount of experience. Now, if you've learned something new so far, please do leave a very swift like down below, so thank you very much, and do consider subscribing if you are new here. I've got lots more Jedi Survivor videos just like this coming your way. Now, while we're on the topic of skills, there's 75 of them to unlock in this game, so there is a lot to choose from. But that said, it will take you around 10 hours or so of game time to unlock all 5 saber stances. So in my opinion, it's not worth investing too many skill points in the lightsaber trees initially until you decide what 2 stances you want to play with for the majority of the game. And make sure you do utilize the Void training program to test out what stances you prefer before wasting skill points in a stance that you invariably then won't go on to use. So with that in mind, I would suggest you invest your skill points in the survival and force trees at the start of the game for a maximum return on investment. I'd also recommend unlocking each upgrade of the expert survival skill tree, as it increases your overall health, as well as the Stim formula and friendship skill points, making your health boosts more impactful, with the added bonus of being able to use them faster in combat. Now, focus sight is another good skill to invest in, as it allows you to automatically evade attacks by holding circle. But a cool combat tip to be aware of, which you do have from the start of the game, and I overlooked it for a long time in favor of the parry button, is the precision evade ability. Quite simply, just press circle if you're on console at the right time to stay still and force dodge an incoming attack, which keeps you close quarters and not 20 meters to the right after using a forced dodge. Now, after you invest skills in your survival tree, you may also want to explore the force tree before you decide on your lightsaber stances, because the max confusion mastery skill is great fun and allows you to mind control and bring some of the big boy enemies over to the light side early on in the game, which is a big advantage when you're in a bit of a pinch. The same can be said for the redirected strength skill in the same confusion force tree, as that allows you to pull an enemy towards you and forces them to fire their weapon on their allies, which can clear out a squad rapidly, and it never gets boring for me. I'd also recommend spending your points in the Jedi concentration tree, specifically the skill Enlightened Attunement, as this will increase Cal's force meter and allow you more time in combat to utilize the skills and powers we've just discussed, which is actually more fun and is super overpowered throughout the game. That said, remember, you can reset all of your skills if you want to start again for free, but if you want to reset them for a second time, it will cost you 1 skill point going forward, so it pays to get the skill investment correct from the start. Now, when you unlock the blaster stance within the first 10 or so hours, there's a couple cool things to be aware of that makes this stance effective. The first is the point blank shot that you can unlock in the skill tree, which parries incoming attacks when pressing triangle at the right moment on your consoles. In fact, it's so effective, I find that it even blocks some incoming red or unblockable attacks, which is absolutely excellent. And a quick tip on the parrying front: if you're having trouble deflecting attacks, just button smash the parry button. I found this to be more effective than holding it down and just waiting for one enemy to attack and then just block that one enemy, whereas spam parry deals with multiple attacks just at the right time. As for replenishing your blaster shots though, if you use the energizing flurry attack by holding L1 and pressing square, this will pepper the enemy with lightsaber thrusts, which replenishes your ammunition very quickly, so you can then utilize the stun feature with your blaster, which is an upgrade that you can purchase from Cage, the bounty hunter quest giver in the cantina. Now, while we're in the cantina, there's a lot of activities that you can do that are easily overlooked for the rest of the game. First and foremost, you can collect and release 12 species of fish into your aquarium. There's actually 10 in Kobo, which you can obtain by engaging with Scuva Stev multiple times and listening to his stories. He will reward you with a fish, which you can then see in the cantina's tank. You can also unlock the robot DJ in the Saloon by completing the rumor side quest at this location on your map. You can then find multiple songs when out and exploring and purchase them from Doma's shop to listen to while you're taking a break in game. And it doesn't stop there, because you can collect plant seeds in the wild by chopping down certain foliage with your lightsaber, which you can then take back to your garden on the cantina roof. Now, if you grow 10 plants or unlock 4 plots in the game and then speak to Pilly, who you recruit from a planet after Kobo, which I won't mention, you'll be able to slice a terminal on the roof, which then shows you the location of all the seeds left to collect on your map. And let's talk about an awesome map unlock mechanic now, because instead of running around trying to find all of these items or collectibles in the game, I would recommend you prioritize completing all 7 Jedi meditation temples located on Koboh first. Now, when you do this, you can venture to the Alignment Control Center, which is located here on your map, and I'll quickly run the route now for you so you know exactly where I'm going, because when you do return with all 7 chambers completed, all 7 computer screens, as you can see here, will turn green and allow you to view the locations of all the Force essences, the skill points, perks, and perk slots in the game, which is an outstanding unlock quite early doors. And to get it unlocked even faster, I'd encourage you to speak to Toa, who you'll first encounter on this location on your map in the Forest Array region, who you end up recruiting back to your cantina, and then every time you speak with her after that, she'll give you the location of each Jedi chamber. So well worth doing if you want to collect everything in this game and get that 100%. Now, one thing you may want to use from the start to finish, if you enjoyed Fallen Order, is the poncho outfit, which returns here. You just need to travel again to the Fort Carlin meditation point and follow the route I'm taking here until you reach Ogdo's underground lair, where you'll need to kindly dispatch him and loot the chest at the back of the arena. It, of course, comes in all available colors. Now, another secret item you may want to use from Koboh onwards is a High Republic styled lightsaber, which you can obtain by heading to the Untamed Downs region, which is here on your map. And when you do arrive, follow this route I'm taking now, and when you do get here, you'll want to grab one of the drones and force push it into the wall. There will be a chest behind it, which is where you'll pick up Santari Kree's lightsaber. You can also customize this further at the workbench, specifically the crossguard saber, where you can change the vent design and their angle, which is a really nice feature in my opinion, as well as preview unique lightsaber sounds by tapping back and forth between the blade and component menus. It took me way too long to realize that, and it's a great customization addition. I'd also recommend you click the video on your screen right now for more cool tips and tricks so you can get the most out of this game. So hopefully I'll see you there in just a second. But if you are still here, my huge thank you to Nika, who has been smashing this game apart with me to get the absolute best info for you. Coffee is certainly on her, and I'll see you in that next video.